Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello, namaste. Welcome to our channel Gold Roti with another yet exciting episode. This is Aman and I have my friend who's going to introduce
Hi.
herself. That's
Yeah, hi, I'm Dr. Ams. And we have a very exciting topic for you today and a very exciting guest.
so so it's Gold Roti where chai is hot, the rotis are round and the conversations are real. And as you know, we are two Desi doctors and we do this podcast and we talk about life, culture, health and everything in between. और आज का हमारा टॉपिक है सोशल मीडिया और उसके साइड इफेक्ट्स और as you know, because of so much social media use in this society these days, even husband and wife sitting together on the same sofa, they're all scrolling, not talking to each other. So multiple side effects हैं, dating scams हैं, money scams हो रहे हैं, बच्चों को teenage बच्चे जो हैं उनको बहका रहे हैं लोग online, उनकी pictures use करते हैं गलत चीजों में बच्चे क्योंकि they're so young, they just send their
Yeah.
pictures and then they can be abused. And today we have a special guest and I'm gonna let Amreen take from here.
So we've got a very, very smart but brutally honest a physician friend. I think we all three of us have known each other for definitely more than a decade. So we couldn't find anybody better than him to talk about social media, adult friendships, because we all live in different states right now. So I like to welcome Dr. Zia Alvi. He's a hospitalist based in Austin, and we all went to the same medical school. So welcome.
Welcome, Zia.
Hi, thanks, Eamon and Ams. I've been listening to your show. I love the vibe, love the truth bombs. I'm really excited to be here.
Wonderful. So let's jump in, Zia. As physicians, we have seen side effects of social media. It's a real world effects on our patients, especially on their health, mental health. So आपने अपनी practice में what kind of side effects have you seen in your patients? Because people are really they want to know.
It is very scandalizing और काफी खतरनाक चीजें देखी हैं बच्चों और बड़ों में. Social media has a very addictive nature. It is very similar to gambling. It activates the reward center in the brain, releasing dopamine, which makes you want to scroll more. It gives you like a sense of pleasure. You end up scrolling for multiple hours all day. It can lead to anxiety, depression, insomnia, burnout, and other mental health issues. It has been designed to make you glued to it for long periods of time.
Yeah, and it's almost as if the algorithm knows your weakness. So if you've looked at one thing once, then the next time you open, let's say, your Instagram or your Facebook, it's going to show you the same type of videos. So जो patients मेरे पास आते थे clinic में when I was practicing internal medicine was कि they would all come in with like a list of health problems, and then they would ask the internet, like Google, like like Dr. Google. I think we've all seen patients like that, and they'll ask you questions, and they'll when you're trying to tell them कि ऐसा नहीं है ऐसा, they'll be like, but the internet told us otherwise. And then I think आपके family WhatsApp groups में, extended friends के WhatsApp groups में that are not non-medical, the Facebook groups that you're a part of, I think everybody has just turned into a virtual health expert. It's quite an epidemic. So like Google is like a cheap version of WebMD or UpToDate, but like it creates a lot of misinformation, I feel.
Exactly. And these health influencers who try to provide like quick fixes for the masses, they're really harmful. I treated a patient who was consuming like multiple supplements which were interacting with his home medications, and these led to like damaging side effects. लोग इन influencers की बातें सुनकर काफी life saving vaccines avoid करते हैं. And as you know, like look at the measles outbreak in Texas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you definitely, Zia. क्योंकि आपने कोविड के ज़माने में भी देखा इतने ज़्यादा लोग अपने घर के रेमेडीज बता रहे थे that people were just running from the vaccine and trying to, oh, I can take this, I can take this. ये शहद से मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगा. So, and I've seen, other than this, like I have seen moms overwhelmed being from, being a perfect mom. if I'm in my pajamas all day 24/7 and the other mom is like, dressed up and, taking lovely pictures, I will be like, yaar, mere saath hi ye masla hai. Like, how are they, so fancy? And
Yeah.
similarly, like, if I'm living in a rental house and my friend is calling me, देखो तुम तो अभी तक rental apartment में रहती हो, उसने दुबई में एक बड़ा सा घर ले लिया है. So, things like this, it undermines your confidence. So these kind of things are creating a real mental health effect on people.
Yeah, and you're like showing, like आजकल I'm guilty of doing it too, but sometimes we share food pictures. So obviously, I think people need to understand कि जब आप सोशल मीडिया पे किसी को फॉलो करते हैं या किसी की पिक्चर्स या वीडियोस देखते हैं तो वो सिर्फ उनकी हाइलाइट्स है. It's not their real life. It has nothing to do with their real life. As somebody who has a public profile, I can tell you that I have real life problems. But obviously मैं उनको show तो नहीं करूँगी, right? Like I'll may talk about a few things, but what you're still seeing is very curated. So Instagram versus reality, like, I think everybody needs to understand and not get sucked into it.
Exactly. So I think the next we want to discuss the kids problem, the teen problems that we have. So I think Amreen can take from here.
Yeah, and like honestly, I've not reached that stage where my kids are using apps and I have to like really chase it. But to give you an example, if my kids want to watch a cartoon, we try to put it on the big television. Just pay we can monitor. Like if I'm cooking, then I can monitor what they're watching. Parental locks are very important. Passwords, make sure you have all of those, because scroll karte karte bacha kahan se kahan pahunch jata hai, you never know, and there are a lot of predators out there. So like, for example, instead of watching the actual YouTube ka app, you can do YouTube for kids. So, just little things I think really matters. I'm sure I'll have a lot more to talk about when my kids are above 10 years of age.
So yeah, definitely, Amreen. Kids don't have their brains don't have the maturity to process all this. So not just predators out being there, it's just too much information for them, which is not appropriate for their age. क्योंकि आप अगर बैठे हुए हो तो कुछ भी आ जाता है इंटरनेट पे आप it's because of the cybersecurity age, whatever you're thinking, it's gonna pop up. So it's just we need 4 eyes on kids all the time. What do you think, Dr. Zia?
Yeah.
Have you seen any teen patients? What's your take on this?
I think this is very heartbreaking. I've seen some cases of like parents who've talked about like cyberbullying. They said it has become really common. They actually did a global survey recently and they found out that about 44% of teens have experienced some form of cyberbullying in their life. And as we discussed, there are online predators that take advantage of these young minds. I actually had a teenager. He came to the hospital. He had ingested multiple detergent Tide pods, जो कपड़े धोने का होता है detergent. And मैंने उससे पूछा कि why were you taking this? Why were you ingesting this? He said, oh, it was a TikTok challenge.
Yeah.
And all of this is very concerning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Zia, I don't know if you saw this, but there was another TikTok trend where you had to like scare a baby or tie a balloon to the baby, and it's like it's mind, like it's senseless. And actually dangerous. Yeah,
exactly.
So even one of like patients I saw, I don't treat teenage population that much, but the ones I've seen, like there was a girl, like she put her picture on, there was a guy she was talking to and they got really good friends. Then she sent her pictures and then she started getting blackmailed because of this. So, and created a very, very bad mental health effect on her. And she came to our clinic to get treated for that anxiety and depression. So let's switch the gears. Enough of talking on the teens. Let's talk about the older population. Our grandparents, uncles and aunties, everyone's in our social media. I stopped using Facebook for a long time because everyone in my family was on social media. I was like, what is going on? So
Facebook in particular, right? Like I was talking to a 16-year-old, and he was like, "You're still on," and he's like to me, "You're still on Facebook? Like, who's using
I think we
Facebook
are
other than
Uncle and
boomers?"
Auntie.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Dr. Zia?
So, let's talk about those WhatsApp forwards, like those conspiracy theories. Like, it's not funny, it's also like very dangerous, you know. Like during the pandemic, I was
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
patients, like, they were refusing vaccines because of all these like misinformation online on like Facebook. And let's not forget about these टोटके के हल्दी वाला दूध पी लो तो आपका इन्फेक्शन ठीक हो जाएगा और
I hate haldi wala doodh.
me too. Turmeric latte, they call it these days, but
तो उसको पीने के लिए उसमें शुगर भी ऐड करना पड़ता है.
I swear, I know.
तो नहीं, और उसके अलावा जो आपके व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड आते हैं कि अगर आपने ये 10 लोगों को नहीं भेजा तो आपकी
Oh
कयामत आ
yeah.
जाएगी, आपके ऊपर कयामत आ जाएगी.
Exactly.
I think South Asians are very easily
And
they're superstitious by culture, but then they're also, I feel, this is not a generalization, but a lot of them are gullible. So hum log, ek send hota hai, and then a lot of people, forward it just because they don't want anything bad happening to them. But yeah, there are kuch bahut benign hote hain, kuch are actually part of scams. So,
true. Like, I
um,
had a patient in my 70s who was literally like scammed for thousands of dollars by a fake Facebook friend.
yeah.
And this lack of awareness and of what is real and what is not, like, I don't think social media literacy is just for kids, it's for like a public health issue for like all ages.
Yeah. But do you feel like it's all bad? Because I think we've spent a lot of time talking about, the evils of social media, but do you see any positives, or any, can it be used for good,
I
especially in the
think
future?
I think काफी फवायद भी हैं social media के if it is used properly. Like, first of all, educating the masses with correct information, which can save lives. And I also see some great TikToks for different types of like yoga, exercise routines, like healthy food channels, great recipes on YouTube.
Yeah. And our channels, like Eamon and I's,
The goal
very informative.
And
of
then
course.
not to forget that all three of us also, because we live in different cities, so we also stay connected on social media.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it creates a bond between close friends, family. So I am staying in touch with my family back home. So it's just it has good things too. And then I have seen cancer survivor groups where moms can support each other, autistic children, their moms and parents can support each other, and then so it can create beautiful spaces as well. But at the same time, like we said, you need to be aware enough how to differentiate when it's good for you and when it's not.
Yeah, and especially for older people, I think if they use it a little bit, like if they use it to कि अपने क्लासमेट्स अगर ढूंढने के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं आप, या अपनी फैमिली से अगर कनेक्ट होने के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, अपने बच्चों से ग्रैंड किड्स के साथ अगर आप फेस टाइम कर रहे हैं, जूम पे बात कर रहे हैं, व्हाट्सएप वीडियो पे बात कर रहे हैं, दैट्स गुड. बट इफ़ यू आर कॉन्स्टेंटली ऑन इट, लाइक सुबह उठते से एक एम्प्टी नेस्टर्स जिनको हम बोलते हैं, या जो हमारे पेरेंट्स ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के एज के हैं, जो रिटायर्ड हैं, इफ़ यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर हॉबीज़, लाइक हेल्दी हॉबीज़ ऑन द साइड, and up सुबह से शाम सिर्फ just scroll करते जा रहे, then that research has shown that it leads to more isolation, more depression, and you feel more disconnected from people. So it's like sugar, right? आप थोड़ा सा लेंगे, it will be good, but if you take too much of it, then it's bad for you.
Exactly. I think if it's social media, if used with the right intention and of course with moderation, I think it's pretty helpful.
Okay, so Zia, what do we do about it? What advice would you give to your patients and families, especially after discussing this in both contexts, older and the kids? What would you give advice?
I think firstly to put time limits on yourself and
Yeah.
your kids, because जो आप करते हो वही आपके इर्द गिर्द लोग mirror करेंगे, especially your kids. And these days phones have become so advanced. iPhone now shows like screen time कि आपने कितने day
Yeah.
में कितना screen time use करे, तो आप
Yeah.
उससे भी like आपको एक awareness होती है कि भाई मैं इस हफ्ते मैंने like 20 hours use करे या 5 hours use करे. And especially for kids, like putting parental controls on electronic devices, ये जो बच्चों को iPads दे देते हैं या फ़ोन दे देते हैं कि प्लीज़ उस पर मेक श्योर करें कि लाइक उस पर पेरेंटल कंट्रोल हो. एंड जब आप डिनर टेबल पे बैठे हो, लाइक don't try to avoid using the phone or like ताकि at least क्योंकि लोग खाना खाते हुए भी phone use कर रहे होते हैं. Educating yourself and your children on how to screen like scammers or strangers, उनको educate करना, उनको बताना बड़ा ज़रूरी है कि भाई आप किसी random बंदे का message नहीं reply करो. Unfollowing those accounts that create misinformation, because अब तो भरा हुआ है social media misinformation से भी. And like we've talked about before, like unfollowing those people who create a fake perception of reality,
Yeah. No, and not only unfollowing people who you feel are toxic for your mental and emotional health, but also just going off social media, like just take a break. I went on a year-long break back in 2023 when life was hard and I was very busy with kids and my job. And then it took me a long time to come back again. So it's okay, जैसे आप अपने आप को detox करते हैं when you get burnt out from work, आप जाते हैं, you go take an actual vacation, right? But अगर आप उस vacation पे, if you're constantly just scrolling on social media, then you're not really enjoying the beauty around you. So take a break, just don't, not
नहीं
just
यार, फिर how will
unfollow.
people know what did you eat that day? What
Yeah,
place did
right?
you go
Yeah.
to? I actually really love your advice, Amreen, jokes apart.
Yeah.
We should pick up a real book once in a while rather than scrolling and reading online everything. It's for your nervous system. It will help you.
Yeah. Read books instead of
Yeah. So Dr. Zia,
watching TikTok.
this was actually really fire, and it was such an engaging talk that we didn't even realize that we are almost reaching the end of the episode. But thank you for joining us and keeping it real.
Thank you so much. Keep doing what you guys are doing. I love your show. I love the vibe. I feel the topics that you guys discuss are very important to all of us, especially the Desi community, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for inviting me.
No, it was our pleasure. And, our only goal was, for you to come and just join us. And this was kind of our bonding time. And we just want to tell and create awareness in people to just scroll a little more smartly. If you can do that, if you can just learn to do that, then we would feel like we fulfill the vision for this particular podcast. So yeah.
So yeah, and our next, so we'll say bye for now, but I'm gonna let Amreen describe a little bit about our next topic, which is cousin marriages. So Amreen, would you just give a heads up on that?
Yeah. So we're still working on it. And Eamon and I are just doing a lot of homework. We're talking to people. We're trying to get some stories that we can share with you. So if you have a story regarding cousin marriages, like the pros and cons, we're gonna just like with every other topic, we discuss both benefits as well as things that don't work for us. If agar aapke paas hai ek interesting story about cousin marriages, please send it to us. We're going to be discussing the emotional, mental aspect of it, but also the health aspect of it. And genetics play a big role. So we're gonna, inshallah, it's gonna be a very interesting podcast, and maybe we'll have an exciting guest.
Yep. So looking forward to it. Take care, stay grounded, and remember, you control the scroll and not the other way around. So thank you. Bye.
Bye.